Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time.
Good morning, and welcome back to History Class, where we are talking about the civilizations of Mesopotamia. You remember where we are? Well, here's our old friend, the picture of the world. Here is the circled area, which is the land of Mesopotamia. And here is the kingdom of Assyria. That's where we're at right now, with the Assyrians. Now, yesterday we talked about the Assyrian people. Today we want to talk about the Assyrian civilization. We talked a little bit about them yesterday, but I want to talk about what sort of things they gave to civilization. Remember, civilization is a whole bunch of things that come together, right? We get some of our stuff from this culture, and some of our stuff from this culture, some of our stuff from this culture, and we put it all together to make it work. So what did the Assyrians give civilization? Well, not a whole lot, because they spent a whole lot of their time fighting. The Assyrians were great warriors, and they thought that war was very, very important. And they had a number of reasons for wanting to go to war. That's your first question there. Name one of the reasons the Assyrians went to war. Well, they would fight with everybody and anybody. They had better weapons than most people. They learned how to make weapons very early on. And it gave them an edge. It helped them defeat all these countries. But why did they fight? What was so important about fighting to them? Well, they had a number of reasons. One of them was safety. They thought, hey, these people over here might attack us. Let's go attack them first. So one of the reasons was safety. Another one of the reasons was for money. As in, hey, those people over there, they've got gold, they've got animals, they've got all sorts of stuff. They have people that we can use as slaves. Let's go attack them and steal all their stuff. And another reason was because of religion. Religion. Now, I said that the Assyrians had a lot of gods, and they did. Their chief god was this handsome devil here, named Asher. Asher. That's your second question. Who is the name of the chief Assyrian god? Asher. And they thought it was important that everybody worship Asher. So they would go and they would conquer these other lands, and they would make the people worship their gods. Okay? It's a terrible reason to go to war, and it sort of hurt them at one point, because there was one point where they attacked Babylon. They attacked Babylon, and they took it over, and they wiped it out. But then they thought, uh-oh, Babylon's a strong country. They must have a really strong God, and we just wiped out his city. Hey, we better get out of here before their God gets mad at us. And so they rebuilt the city and then sneaked away. Yeah, because very, very, very silly, isn't it? And that's what happens when you don't believe in the one true God. You start making up your own rules, and you start believing in very, very silly things. Okay, so yes, the Assyrians were very much focused on war, but you can't really have a civilization if all you're doing is fighting. And that's why we don't have a whole lot of stuff from the Assyrians today. But there is one thing that we have. their one great thing they gave to civilization. And that was made by their last king, this handsome guy, whose name, he's got a great name. His name is Ashurbanipal. Ashurbanipal. I hope I'm saying that right. And if I'm not, it doesn't matter because he's dead. He can't tell me I'm wrong. Ashurbanipal realized that it was important for there to be some way for people in the future to know what was going on in the land. So here's what he did. He built this, the Great Library of Nineveh. The Great Library of Nineveh. Nineveh was the capital city of Assyria. And in this, he said, okay, we want there to be a record of everything that's happened in this land. So he asked all the countries of Mesopotamia, hey, send us some stuff that tells us about your land. And he put it all in the Great Library of Nineveh. Now you remember yesterday we said that the Persians were the ones who came and destroyed Assyria. And when they did, they burnt that great library of Nineveh. Now normally that's a bad thing. All that knowledge that was lost, it's terrible. But in this time it was a good thing. Because all of the information that was in the great library of Nineveh was written on things that looked like this. See that? That's not stone. It looks like stone, but it's not. It's clay. It's like mud, but when you put fire to it, it gets really, really hard. It doesn't burn, and it's very, very hard to break. So when the Persians came and set fire to the land of Nineveh, to the library of Nineveh, all it did was to make those tablets very, very hard so they wouldn't break, so they were saved. A few years ago, the great library of Nineveh was dug up by archaeologists, and they found 30,000 of those clay tablets in there. Almost everything we know about the land of Mesopotamia comes from those tablets. So Ashurbanipal did what he said he was going to do. He saved a record for us so we know what life was like for Assyria and for Babylon and for Sumer and all those other countries there. So when it happened, they probably thought, oh no, it's terrible, all that work gone. Did it go? No. God saved it. Because God is in control. God wanted us to be able to look back at the lands of Assyria and Babylon and Sumer, see what the people were like back there, so we could learn from them. Okay? So, that's Assyria. Here's our questions for today. All right, again, number one, name one of the reasons why Assyria went to war. And I gave you a bunch of reasons. You can go back and look at the beginning of the video if you've forgotten them. Question number two, who was the chief god of the Assyrians? And his name was Ashur. And the third question is, what did King Ashurbanipal build to put information about the land into? And that is, he built the Library of Nineveh. The Library of Nineveh. It's long gone, but the information it kept, and we still have today. Okay. Now, we're getting close to the end of this parsha, y'all, and it occurs to me that I have not given you a test yet. I have to have a test, at least one test. It's so I can give you notas, tiendas parcial. So not tomorrow, Thursday, there will be a test. Do not be scared. It's going to be very, very easy. What I'm going to do is there's going to be two lists, okay? On one side is going to be a list of words and names, okay? And on the other side will be definitions, okay? What those words and names mean. I'm just going to ask you to take your pencil and draw a line from one to another. So for instance, if one of those words was nomad, okay, you would look on the other side for people who travel, and you just draw a line from nomad to people who travel, okay? It's going to be a very easy test. If you've been watching the videos, you will know the answers, no problem, okay? Okay. Don't worry about it. You'll do fine. So, turn this video off now, and I will see you on Thursday.